In this video, we will show you how to replace your coolant reservoir on this Acura MDX. This will be located along the passenger side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Locate your coolant reservoir. It's on the passenger side of your engine compartment, close to your washer fluid reservoir and your power steering reservoir. To be able to remove this, we're going to have to dislodge our power steering reservoir from its mounting bracket. This is fairly simple. Take hold of it, give it a little tug straight up, and slide it aside. Continuing from there, we're going to remove the cap from the top of the coolant reservoir. To do this, take hold of it, turn it counterclockwise. It does have a hose that leads down and inside. We'll lift this up. Be careful for not losing any coolant here. A quick inspection of that and we'll set it aside. With that out of the way, we can remove the one piece of mounting hardware holding this in place. You have a small plastic push clip. To remove your push clip, use a small prying device. Start pulling out the center. Once the center's out, it should be unlocked and you can remove the outer portion as well. A quick inspection, make sure it is still reusable. If not, you definitely want to replace it. This one looks fine. We'll set it aside. Continuing on, we're going to have to look down in this area. If you were to look below your AC line, you're going to find that you have a hose that makes its way into the coolant reservoir. We just want to carefully pry that out of place. You can do it by hand or just use a small prying device. Continuing on, take hold of the coolant reservoir. We're going to have to lift it straight up. What you're going to find is on the outboard side, towards the passenger side here, it has a bracket that it slides down and into. Now that it's dislodged, we're going to start lifting it up and out this way, up and through this hole. With the reservoir out of there, we'll set this aside and focus on the cap. We have to remove the hose that leads to the radiator from the top of the cap here. To do this, you can just give it a little twist and slide it off of there. A quick inspection of the hose that leads over to the radiator. If it looks like it's torn, worn, or damaged, you definitely want to replace it. That looks fine. And there it is, friend. Now it's time to install our coolant reservoir. A couple things to pay attention to. Along the back, you have the area that slides into your metal bracket. As we make our way towards the inboard side closest to the engine, we had the hose that made its way through here. And then we also have that one mounting point up along the top for our push clip holding it to the body of the vehicle. With all that said, let's start sliding this into position. We'll have to flex things a little bit as necessary here, being careful not to cause any damage, of course. As we bring this down, we're trying to align it with its mounting bracket down along the body of the vehicle there. Let's focus on the hose now. Just press that into its mounting point. Double check, make sure it's secure. Let's continue on to the upper mounting point. We have our one push clip to hold this in place. When installing your push clips, you want to make sure you have it in the unlock position. You can drive in the outer portion and then lock it in with the center. Once it's locked in, go ahead and take hold of that, give it a wiggle, make sure it's properly secured in place. Now it's time to attach our coolant hose. This hose leads over to the radiator, as we know. We're just going to press that on here as far as possible. Once you feel as though you have it on there, give it a little tug, make sure it's properly secure. You don't want this coming off and leaking out coolant. Continuing on from here, you're going to turn the cap counterclockwise. We can slide that right out of the reservoir. Now it's time to fill the coolant reservoir with the manufacturer's specified coolant. You do want to make sure it's 50-50 diluted and not a concentrate. Looking down along the side here, you can see that you have two lines. There's one right up here, which would be the maximum. All the way down there is the minimum. Pretty much anywhere in between is perfect. To make sure I don't spill too much here, I'm going to use a funnel, and I'm using universal coolant. There we are, we're right up to the maximum line. We'll remove the funnel. Continuing on, we can reinstall the hose down and inside this area. We'll get the cap in position, turn it clockwise, lock it in. If your hose came dislodged, you just want to slide that right into its corresponding area. Resecure your power steering reservoir. Just go ahead and line it up with its mounting bracket and lock it in. Double check, make sure everything's secure. Okay friend, we finished our installation. The next thing you want to do is just go ahead and test for leaks, close the hood, and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.